yes, I've seen them gloriosa. But that doesn't mean anything. My eyesight is blurry sometimes. Some of them have blurry areas. It's either the camera or the photographer. It's not us. No. That's what I'm hoping. No, it's not us.
Give it like 2. Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
We're going to say some Hail Marys. That's my friend.
He didn't see a picture. He did not see a picture.
You ready? Yeah, 75 people.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our July Town Hall meeting. It's great to see so many people with us today. I hope you're all enjoying the weather. Not too bad today. So I had my annual physical this morning, and apparently I'm in okay health, so that's good, even though I got here, all of 6 minutes late for our meeting, so I'm sorry that we're starting late. I literally just got out of the car. I could make the crack about, I just flew in and aren't my arms tired? I drove. So, anyway, we have a full agenda for you all today, just as we always do. A lot of information to share, a lot of things to talk about. So we are going to get the show on the road, and we are going to start with our administrator's report. So please welcome to the podium Gina Kirchhoff, our administrator and assistant executive director.
Hi everybody, can you hear me? Okay, I tend to be loud anyway, so I don't need the mic, but if I need to speak up, let me know. So, like Jay said, it's a beautiful day, and we're going to start our beautiful meeting. You everybody ready?
Yes.
So I have a few updates to share. Our average census at Village Point for June was 101.3, and in the summer months, the census usually does go down a little bit in the industry, so that's not abnormal. For Aspen, which is our rehab unit, it's 30. For Evergreen, 27. Sandalwood, 26. And Willow is 20. I have a few additional updates from last month. So we have a new director of activities who is doing absolutely phenomenal. I mean, she's like lighting sparks, literally and figuratively, all over the building. So I just wanted to share that with you, that we have another new sense of energy going in the building, and the activities department is really, they're on fire. They're doing great. We do have a new long-term care social worker. Her name is Remy, and she did just start this week, so she is still acclimating. We also brought on board a physiatrist, and physiatrist is just another word for a rehab doctor. It's a doctor specifically for rehab. And her name is Dr. Jam, and she actually knows Dr. Nanavati, who I'm sure all or most of you know. And she will do things like she'll provide ortho injections on site to eliminate unnecessary trips to the doctor's office, so you don't have to leave Village Point to get those kinds of services anymore. So she's a great addition to our clinical team. We are still expanding our rehab services to Willow and also throughout Village Point. So we are accepting people for rehab purposes in the entire building. We have developed our clinical capabilities across the board, and although there are a few things that will only take care of in Aspen, the rehab unit, for the most part, the entire building has increased their clinical capabilities, and some of those examples are G-tubes, tracheostomy care, IV insertion, total parental nutrition, life vests, which is a cardiac thing, Pleurex catheters, and many, many, many other things. So we are just moving along. And again, like I said the last couple months, if you ever just want a quick tour of Village Point, just leave me a voicemail, shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to set up a tour with you personally, and I can take you around to all the units and show you everything that we have. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
Who's the new director of activities?
Her name is Tanya Mattis. Yes, ma'am.
My husband's in Village Point and doing his menu yesterday.
Yeah, that's why we hold questions to the end.
Oh, okay.
How about we hold that to the end so we can get the microphone?
Entrees were listed under bread. Breads were listed under entrees. There was no cranberry juice.
Okay, we'll address that when we get
Okay.
to the questions at the end.
Got it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No?
Okay.
I'm just wondering if somebody new did the menus.
Okay, well,
So
Gina, we'll talk with you individually.
Yeah, we'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Gina. Yeah, as Gina mentioned, we've continue to have a lot of good stuff going on at Village Point. We're really excited about some of the expanded services that we're offering and the other things that we're doing in terms of programming and events as well. All right, next up is somebody who's got a new title. Yay! So I am so pleased to introduce to you our Director of Sales, Ms. Paula Falkowski.
Thank you, Jay. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Just have a bunch of stuff to go over, and I just want to share some updates with you. So this is just our dashboard. So we're 81% occupied right now and 85% sold. We had 2 move-ins in June and 7 sales, and we are set for 3 move-ins this month and hopefully 4 or more sales this month. So Karen and myself and the rest of the team are really working hard to ramp up census here in independent living. We have a sales counselor, senior sales counselor. His name's Matt Mazuka. Some of you know him. He used to work here at Monroe. So we're borrowing him for a little period of time, and he's helping us with making calls and appointments and things like that as well. So these are some of our new residents for lately. That's Diane Lewin, Herbert Yunker, and Diane and Don Carney. Just welcome them when you see them. Thank you, thank you. I know you all love me with that. We really appreciate all your help and all your kindness when people tour and when new residents move in. Am I not aggressive enough? Okay, here we go. So I just want to go over some of the market events that we had and an outreach. We did co-sponsor an event with Atrium at Navesink in Staten Island. We had a professional networking event together with Spring Point at Manalapan and Spring Point at Home. The garden party by the pond was a great success. Thank you for resident ambassadors that were there. We had some really lovely entertainment, and dining did a terrific job with the refreshments. We had a Residents Make Great Neighbors event, and that's for any resident in the whole community who would like to refer a friend. Friends make great neighbors, and there's some incentives for that, for any resident that would do that and for the community as a whole. So I'll go over that a little bit more specifically, and everyone should have gotten one of these on their doorknob, so if you have someone that you can refer, you just write their name on here and your name, and you just bring it to the sales office, and we'll make sure we reach out to them. If anyone needs more, please let me know. We'll be happy to give you more. I also co-hosted with Spring Point at Manalapan an ice cream social at the Stonebridge 55 plus community here. It was one of those terrible, awful hot days, but everybody enjoyed the ice cream, so that was really good. And then this month on the 21st and the 28th, we're having an event where we're going to be talking about what a life plan community is all about. So the Friends Make Great Neighbors program. So the home office wants to provide incentives to the residents who are referring their friends, making an effort to have their friends come, see the community, see what Monroe Village is all about, understand what a life plan community is all about. So with the referral plans, you give us the referral, we call your friend. If they come in tour, you get 50 spring points, okay? If they move in, of course, you get a month credit on your monthly service fee. But there's additional incentives. So the three focus communities are Monroe Village, Crestwood Manor, and the Oaks at Denville. So there's a contest. So whatever residents refer the most friends get prizes. And it's just based on the number of referrals. Even if they don't make an appointment, even if they don't move in, it's just based on the number of referrals. So refer your friends. If you think somebody just might be interested to learn about what a life plan community is, even if it's not for now, even if it's for the future, we would love to explain that to them. We would love to tour them. We would love to show them our apartments and see what it's really like here. So for the contest for this third quarter, one of the three focus communities that refers the most friends will get a dinner and a movie out at a theater. And for the fourth quarter, they will get a fine dining experience at their community, so it would be here at Monroe. And then the community, one of the three focus communities that gets the most referrals for the whole year will get a smartwatch, whether it's an Android or an iWatch. So Apple Watch. Yeah, I don't have an iPhone, so there's some good incentives for referrals, and word of mouth is the best referral for us. It's also the most cost effective for us. So if you have friends, please let us know. So I want to start a new marketing initiative, and it's outreach to the 55 plus communities in the Monroe Township area. So Monroe Township has at least a dozen 55 plus communities in the area. And we still have people who visit here who say, what's a life plan community? I didn't even know you were back here. How long has Monroe Village been here? We've been here almost 40 years. And they still think, oh, we thought you were just assisted living. So we would really like to engage with the 55 and over communities and educate them. But the only way to do that is to have them invite us. Okay, we can't just go there and do a presentation because they don't allow that. So how do we do that? If any of you who lived in a 55 plus community here in Monroe Township still belong to, or even have friends still who belong to a men's group, a women's group, a book club, an Italian American club, Jewish culture club, writers group, whatever it is. If any of you have friends in any of those communities, talk to them, see if they would give us the opportunity to go and speak to them. The whole idea is that your friends invite us, we bring food, and then they move into Monroe Village. It's very simple. It's a 3-step process. We can do it. So if anybody has any friends in the neighborhoods around here that are up for that, please let me know and we could schedule that. And we would, it would be great if all of you that are willing to do that could even partner with us when we go there. So there's an additional marketing practice. We send out letters from me listing all our current incentives. And then there's the monthly newsletter that focuses on the 3 communities that goes out, just to give them a heads up of what's going on in all 3 of the communities. So how can you help? Refer your friends, share and greet your experience and your time when we tour people, talk to your 55 plus community friends out there to invite us, and like us on Facebook, give us a positive Facebook review or a Google review. And that's it. Have a great day. Good morning.
So what do we think? We think Paula did pretty well in her maiden voyage? Absolutely. So we go from a first timer to a long timer. Steve doesn't like being referred to as old. So we won't refer to him as old. We'll refer to him as seasoned. How's that? He is one of the most seasoned employees here at Monroe Village. And we are so happy to have had him for so many years. And he just keeps the hits coming, whether he's got short hair, long hair, or whatever else he's got going on. So please welcome to the stage, Steve Ween, our Live Well Program Manager.
Thanks for that, Jay. Good morning, everyone. We got a nice crowd here. Listening to Paula, I also just want to take the time to thanks to the marketing team as they planned some events with the tent, and we were able to borrow that tent, and we did have at least one good week. Okay, that's probably a positive in the last 2 years, so I'll take it. So upcoming programs, entertainment. Today we'll be having an art history and appreciation lecture at 1:15, Charles Dickens. Friday, July 17th on stage live, Vic Damone, 1:15 in the auditorium. That next day, Saturday, July 18th, the Stiletto and the Saxman at 7:30. They've been coming for years. I've been seasoned here. They've been longer than me, so we're happy to still have that good relationship with a very interactive, fun act. Monday, July 20th, we'll have a Can Do, and that title, basically, if people need help, and it's something that's new, creating an order with your at your service. So again, this is through the app. I'll be there, so if anyone still needs some information or help with the app, I can certainly help you.
Right, it's dining at your service.
Yeah, at your service. That is like obviously, creating an order. That is a food order. Okay, heavy on the food. Okay. We have 11, but sometimes actually it's kind of need two. It's okay. People might be on the call from our other Spring Point communities as well. So a very good service if you haven't taken advantage of that. So that will be Monday, July 20th. Also, Monday, July 20th, we'll be having It Takes a Village. The subject matter will be home safety awareness at 3 o'clock in the auditorium. I'm pleased to have our resident experts. I mean, they're not residents yet. Sorry, Mark. But Mark and Stan will be actually providing information. We have about 200 and plus residents here, and I know sometimes information is key, so it's a good subject matter. So they will be ready, and we'll have a nice information. And again, this is our campaign to prevent falls. So if you have anyone that might be you thinking your neighbor or a friend, invite them. Okay, we're trying to prevent falls. Tuesday, July 21st, I'm pleased to say we are full. So if you snooze, you lose. Okay, it's through the app, or you can call my extension at 6477. This is Paint with Vince. It's a little bit longer. I'm going to try something different because we have painting July 21st and also the following week, July 28th with Lori. So same type of thing. But like I said, if you need help signing up, please use the app or leave me a message. Friday, July 24th, we'll have a musical entertainment program at 1:15 in the auditorium. Monday, July 27th, we'll have our once a month free massage. Also, pleased to say, I think as of now, we still have one spot open. Okay, so if you're interested, just keep your phone silent. You could do it now. That will be 1:30 in the LEC. And again, how that works is we can have about 16 people sign up, and then I give you a certain time, so you're not just sitting for an hour and a half. So sign up. Again, if you need help, call me at 6477, and we'll make that arrangement. Tuesday, July 28th. It's actually early, so that's not misprint, and it's on the calendar. 11 a.m. I think everyone enjoys, and I always have to look up his act name. It's NGXB. I'll never remember that. But he's been coming, this is probably his third visit this year. Everyone really has a good time, so we'll be having him early that month and day. Saturday, August 1st, Jerry Castellano. It'll be in the auditorium at 7:30. Jerry, he's been coming now probably the last 5 years. He sings, plays electric guitar. It's a very, again, spirited, fun show. People enjoy Jerry's act. Tuesday, August 4th, we'll be working with our health committee, and our presentator is Latira. She is from Village Point. She'll be talking about preventing flu and other viral infections. That will be 2 o'clock in the auditorium. Kind of getting ready for a flu season. Okay. Let's see. And how to register in advance. Unigas app 6477. So again, app is a great tool. You don't always need to call me. And again, if you need help, just let me know and I can, have some time to spend with you. But it's a great tool. I carry it on my phone, so even if people see me in the hallway, like Rita saw me, 30 minutes ago, I signed her up for the art class, and now the art class is full. So it's a very neat tool. So again, thanks everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.
So I want to ask Steve if he has any pull. I was listening. There's a band that put out an album today. I was listening to it on my way in the car. Just released today. They're headlined by 2 guys in their mid-80s. So I thought they kind of apply to this group here. Same age, cohort, stuff like that. They've sometimes put out a few albums before. They actually sometimes have used a pseudonym. And sometimes they put music out under the name The Cockroaches. I don't think they're fooling anybody when you hear the music. So Steve, you got any pull? Can you get, Mick and Keith here with the Rolling Stones and their new album released today?
I can sing.
You can see, you'll make a phone call?
Sure.
I mean, I just think it's amazing, seriously. Here's 2 guys, 83 years old, and the rest of their band who are still out there making music, doing things, being incredible, and I think that should be an inspiration to all of us. It's really, really pretty cool when you see that and think about that the Rolling Stones have been a band for 60 plus years at this point, and they're still drawing crowds and bringing interest, and it's really pretty neat. So get on it, Steve.
I saw them.
You saw? I saw them too.
Yeah, 5 years
It was actually the best concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
The old Giant Stadium. Anyway, all right. Somebody else who's been to the old Giant Stadium. Not because she's old, but please,
Not because they're winning.
Not because they're winning either, but it could be worse. She could be following the Mets. So anyway, poor Anthony's not even here to, Please welcome to the stage our Director of Resident Services, Gina DePuro.
I'm short. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all had a very nice 4th of July. And here we go. Okay, so we beat the heat anyway. The change of venue did not impact our fun or the success of our 6th annual camp day. I can't believe it's been that long already. We raised $800 to benefit the Alzheimer's Association. So thank you very much. And over $1,800 year to date. The significance of the $800 is that we've never gotten above about $680 before. So to jump from that to 800 was it was really, really touching. So I'm really excited. Thank you very much. I hope you all had a good time and enjoyed the food and the crafts and stuff. And I liked the new, we picked a new entertainer. He was really liked, and he was very interactive with the audience. It takes a village. Steve spoke about it being on the 20th, and it's so important. Falls really, really can impact your life negatively and take it on a complete different trajectory. We really are aiming this year to get you to focus on ways not to fall. So please put this in your calendar, 3 o'clock on the 20th, right here. Actually, there's a teaching kitchen with Chef Carlton before that. Yep. So you can have some, I think it's about peaches. So you can have some peaches with Chef Carlton, and then you can come and learn how not to fall and stay safe. Okay. This is the most of the unpleasant slides.
But it's the most important.
But it's the most important slide. I do this every so often. I know when Simone speaks, she also speaks about it. It is really, really important that we have your most updated information. Anybody that knows me knows I say at least 20 times a day, this is independent living, and it is. However, our clinic is licensed with the state of New Jersey. So there are certain things that we need to have. And just on an offshoot, I encourage all people, even if you have a doctor outside of here, that you form a relationship with one of our doctors, either Dr. Mirza or our medical director, Dr. Nanavati. And the reason is in case of an emergency. In case of an emergency, we can have somebody immediately address the situation with one of our nurses. If there's an emergency, he can help you. And quite frankly, if you don't feel good, do you really want to get washed and dressed and get in a car or wait for transportation to take you? It's so easy. You just go down to the clinic, he listens to your lungs or whatever is the problem, and he can address it quickly. Again, not telling you to give up your doctor, but it just makes life easier for you and also in an emergency. And to that effect, any changes, emergency contact information, people move, situations differ, relationships change. I know people that aren't talking to one another anymore, and I accidentally called the POA that was on paper, and wow, did I hear about it, because I didn't know that there was a rift. So things like that, please let us know. And any legal document. So this is what happened. Person no longer wanted that POA to be their POA. So they wrote on a little note to use somebody else. That's not a legal document. But your POA document, your power of attorney document was. It was notarized, may even be filed with the courts. It's a legal document. That little piece of paper is not. So if you want to change who's going to make decisions for you or who's going to do things for you, you need to make that a legal document. And when you do, please, please, please give me a copy. I don't need your original. I just need a photostatic copy. That's fine. I'll even make the copy for you. Huh?
Photostatic copy.
Wow. Wow. Oh, he's not here. Steve didn't hear it, so that's good. He can't mess. Get out. Get out of the room. Go back outside.
Photostatic copy.
Yeah, I know. I'm so old. Also, insurance changes. We have people come to me and say, Gina, I got a bill. And I look and that's the wrong insurance. So I need your new insurance. It's really important. Living wills, the same thing. It is important that we know what you want. If you ever see what CPR looks like, it's tough on the body. Think about it, because that compression can be really troublesome. We need to know, do you really want that? So any changes of what your wishes are, we need to know as well. Now this is the uglier part. You all signed a contract that says, in the body of the contract, that says if you should need personal assistance, it would be through a licensed agency, and it would be licensed in the state of New Jersey. I'm well aware that there are people here, in spite of my best efforts, that are not licensed aides. It is a very risky thing. Couple of reasons. Number one, you broke your contract. The contract stated that it should be licensed, and you broke your contract. That's a problem. Because if you ever want money, you have financial difficulties, because you broke your contract, they actually don't have to give you money. The other problem is safety, and that's more important than anything. We have had situations where there's been theft, there's been abuse, there's been, one lady lost $25,000 over a period of time and was not realizing it until she realized that so much money had been gone, because it was little bits at a time. Actually, her daughter is the one that found it. So these unlicensed people are not monitored. There's nobody that's over them. Nobody is paying attention to what they are doing or not doing. And they might be nice to you. I'm not saying they're not nice, but it's not safe. A licensed agency, they're bonded, they're insured, they're held accountable. Every aide has to answer to a registered nurse, at least, if not a BSN. They have to be trained, they have to be retrained, they have to take classes to hold on to their certification. Yes, it's more expensive, I'm not going to lie. But please, please, please do not buy into, oh, but this is cheaper. Because you're putting yourself and other people at risk. One of the people who there was theft with wasn't the person that was being cared for. That unlicensed aide allowed a family member to come in through the back door, and that's how it happened. We don't allow family members to be in here. They're not supposed to be. What are they doing here? It's your safety and your neighbor's safety that's at risk. So please, please, please do not do it. And also we need an updated medication and any changes to your, to any assisted devices. We call them DMEs, but a walker, or if you think you need a wheelchair or you want a motorized wheelchair, please go through PT for that. They'll help you decide what is appropriate for your level of assistance. Oh, oxygen, yes. Most important than anything else, we need to know if someone is on oxygen. If you are on oxygen, we need to know. It is important because in an emergency, In an emergency, we need to know that someone is on 24-hour oxygen. It's very, very important. So please make sure that when there's these updates, we have them, okay? A little staffing update. I promise that was the worst of it. It's better. Staffing update, currently interviewing for weekday and weekend, actually, concierge role. Interviewing for an evening activities assistant in our assisted living neighborhood. And Elena is now providing the medical drives. So we have medical transportation available from Monday through Thursday and Fridays by request only. And that actually is going well, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. We used to have medical drives on Fridays, but then it was not being used, and so we were paying somebody for a service that wasn't being utilized. And then all of a sudden, things change, and it was becoming a thing where more and more people wanted it. So thank you for letting me know. Okay, I'm excited about this. So I got to spend some time with Chef Carlton, and we will have a return of the Chef's Table. It is an invitation-only event for small groups of new residents, and it's hosted by the Dining Services and my department, Resident Services. It provides our newest Monroe Village family members with the opportunity to break bread and get to know one another. Even when we do our new beginnings, I'm always surprised at how many new people don't know each other. So this is just another way to do that. And we'll be starting that up again in August. I'm very excited about this. Fancy Fridays with Chef Carlton. It will be a new quarterly program that will offer exclusive entree and wine pairings. Food will be prepared tableside by our executive chef, that's Chef Carlton, and it'll be limited to 20 residents per event. You'll need to register for it. We ask that you dress up. It's a dress-up event, so you get to look fancy for the evening. And it's more than your average dining, but it's a better dining experience. It's a more fancy upscale experience. So more details to come, but I just wanted you to know that this will be fun. And Chef Carlton has quite the background for something like this.
Yes, he does.
This is really his wheelhouse. He gets to really play fancy. So I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Gina. As always, a lot of good information there. Whether it be some of the programs we have, whether it be some of the reminders that we're providing, or whether it be some of the fun stuff that's coming up in the future. Always a lot of good stuff coming out of our resident services and our Live Well programs. All right. So next up is our Director of Campus Safety. Oh, somebody's got their phone ringing. That's okay. Director of Campus Safety, Mark Picorni, who has been here, I think, 75 hours so far this week. Starting like midnight on Saturday into Sunday, straight through all day Sunday, all day Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on his day off, here he is.
I'm sorry.
So please welcome Campus Safety Director Mark Picorni.
Good morning. I brought notes because usually I go off topic on these things. So the first thing we do is going to welcome Cassie Marks to Campus Safety. Cassie has worked part-time concierge at Village Point in Monroe Village on the weekends. So if you interact with her at the front desk, please welcome her. Her being with us gets my team fully staffed. We had a power outage on the 4th of July, unfortunately. So Campus Safety provides support to residents following established protocols. check on those notified us previously that have utilized medical equipment dependent on electricity, like O2 concentrators, make rounds to the campus, checking on hallways, stairways, and elevators, respond to the numerous requests for assistance in medical emergencies that arise, and answer the phone calls. Our backup generator covers all of Village Point, all of the assisted living neighborhood, all of the clubhouse, including the auditorium, the bistro, the fireside restaurant, and the kitchen, all of the hallways and the aisle elevators, and the exterior lighting. We need you to be prepared for power outages. Please stay weather aware and charge your cell phone when you know a storm is coming. Program the main number into your phone, the 732-521-6400, and let us know who you are when you call, because some of the incoming phone calls just say cordless or wireless phone. Keep a corded phone plugged into your phone jack near you where you sleep, because the cordless phones that you plug in, like AT&T cords, they don't work. They're dependent on electricity, so you need a corded phone to work when the power goes off. Then when you call the front desk, we'll have your apartment number, but if you use a cell phone, we're not going to have what apartment number you're calling from. Make sure you're registered to receive our emergency notifications on the iInfo. Keep a flashlight with fresh batteries near where you sleep. I learned that some residents sleep in a recliner that has electricity, so that fails. And so you need to keep maybe a flashlight in your cell phone next to that when you're sleeping, if you don't sleep in a bed. You can also purchase emergency night lights like the Blackout Buddy that turns on when the power goes off. They're on Amazon. They're emergency lighting that's like a flashlight, and when the power goes off, then that light kicks on. So when you get up, you're not prone to falling because you can see that the power may be out, but you still have lighting around where you need to walk to. That brings us to the emergency pendants. We now recommend the Star Alert. You can wear it around your neck or on your wrist like a watch. You can add fall protection, that if you fall, the pendant will feel that. It'll automatically call the system if you can't press the button. The pricing is around $47.50, but I stole that off their website, so it might be a little bit cheaper for us. There's no sign-up fees, there's no contracts, no shipping costs, no cancellation fees, which means if you have to use it for a couple months while you're rehabbing, you can do that and then return it. Give them a call. I have flyers if you need them. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mark. Always important to remember all of those different things that are available and ways that we want to make sure we keep people safe. Next up is our Director of Facilities, Stan Mazakevich. He's been a little busy on the outside.
Just a little.
Just a little. He's going to share with us some of the things that are going on, so please welcome Stan.
Good morning, everyone. Just want to give you an update on projects that have been completed. Like Jay said, we've done our paving project, phase 1. This includes all parking lots that were milled, paved, and striped. Damaged curbs are also replaced. Paving project phase 2 is planned, in which milling and paving of Perimeter Road will be completed in the fall. I want to thank everyone for the cooperation. I know it was a big move, a lot of cars, a lot of moving parts, so thank you, everyone. Our sidewalk replacement project, the area from ABC Courtyard to parking lot 1 was completed. Additional work is planned after the pickleball and dog run are installed. Replacement of old parking lot and roadway lights continues. We have 12 new fixtures that will be installed. Our tree pruning and limb removal continues. Please, the one thing that we're having an issue with is with some work orders, so we need to make sure that we contact the concierge for all work requests. This allows tracking of work orders to ensure timely completion. Thank you.
Go back a slide, 'cause I think we did. missed the one. It's really important when it comes to those work requests, please make sure you are calling the concierge desk so it can be entered into the work order system and tracked. When you stop someone in the hallway or ask them to do something, they may say, and I'm sure they will say, we'll get to it, but if it's not in the system and tracked, we have no way to actually follow up for you. So please, please, please use the process the way it's designed. Reach out to the concierge desk so we can track those work orders all the way through from start to finish. And that way, if it doesn't get done, I have record of that as well, and I can follow up appropriately for you. Okay. Anybody getting hungry yet? Yeah, I thought so. I'm getting hungry too. I look at those things and I say, oh, they all look good. And then I look at what they're sitting on, and I know where it is. Does anybody know where all those pictures were taken? They were all taken in the bistro. They're all items from the bistro. So she's still sitting over there acting like she doesn't have to speak. Do I need to tap dance?
No, it's okay.
We have faith and confidence in our dining room manager, Miss Tyra Menefield.
Hello, good morning. Vince, the Chillin' Grill night was a success despite the heavy rain and the heat wave. The residents that did come did enjoy the event. A few criticisms, but there was a few things that we know to tweak for next time. Can you hear me now? Sorry.
They're just softly, I know.
Like Gina said earlier, we are doing Teaching Kitchens again. Carlton will be doing it July 20th, I believe, at 1:30 in the club room. We will, for Bistro, we're having pasta night again. I know last year when we did pasta night, the residents love it, so we decided to bring it back. That would be by reservations only. We will announce when the dates for that will be soon. And we will be doing the fresh produce sales again as well. I know we recently stopped doing it, but me and Carlton are looking for the end of July, early August to start doing the fresh produce every Wednesday. Culinary updates. Our goal is for every resident to receive food that is hot, fresh, and ready to enjoy. Chef Carlton continues to work with our team to ensure all meals are prepared fresh and ready to order. We updated our bistro specials about 2 weeks ago, so that way it wasn't the same specials. The sides and daily entrees and fireside are making sure that we rotate them every 2 weeks, so it's not the same sides or entrees that we have. For safety, for everyone's safety, please try to avoid, when you're waiting for your reservation downstairs, to avoid the staircase or the elevator areas. The past few weeks, there's been a lot of crowds near the staircase and the elevators when the residents are trying to go in and off the elevators, just a safety concern. We do ask that one person from each party please approach the hostess stand just to check in, so it's not more than just 3 people at the stand. Blocking the entrance to a restaurant is becoming a safety concern. A lot of residents like to talk to their friends, but when you guys are blocking the entrance, it's a safety hazard for residents that needs to go in and out, as well as the staff. We have comfortable seating in the lounge for residents to sit at, so it's easier for everyone. Staff updates. We have enough staff to support all dining venues. Many of our student employees will be returning to college in the next month, so we will be saying goodbye to some familiar faces. But don't worry, I have at least 5 interviews next week to prepare for new staff to be coming in soon. So there will be some new faces in the next few weeks. So just be prepared for that. Continue to use Happy or Not, so that way there's QR codes on the menus, the table tents, or there's comment cards at the entrance of Fireside Restaurant and Bistro. So that way, if there's any concerns or comments that you have, we can continue looking at that and update. So that way, your dining experience is much better. These are the QR codes for the restaurant, for the Village Bistro, and yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.
I think she did great, don't you? Absolutely, right? I think we all know that, if you haven't heard, I'm sure it's the rumorama out there. Matt, our dining director, is out on a leave of absence right now, and we wish him well. And obviously, we want to respect his privacy at this point, but I do want you to know that he is out on a leave of absence. So Carlton and Tyra and some of our other folks have really stepped up to the plate to support our dining services operation. We've also gotten additional support from Morrison Senior Living, our dining partner, that if we were a standalone without anybody, we wouldn't have that support. So we wish Matt well. We hope he's back soon. And we thank Tyra and Carlton and all of the others for the efforts they're putting forth in Matt's absence right now. All right, it's my turn. Wonder what I'm going to talk about. All right, we're going to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Boom. No boom. No boom. Hooray! Hooray! Exactly, we'll take that. Exactly. So we've added, per resident request, we have added numbers at the main entrance of each of our parts of the community. If I go back, number 3, that is Village Point, exactly. Number 2, that is assisted living. That's the main entrance to assisted living. And number 1 is the porte cochere in the main entrance to Monroe Village. Now you might be saying, well, why isn't it on like 3 and 2 are? Well, can you see any of the poles from where the roadway is? No. So that's why we have to put the number 1 on that rock. That's that big rock that's right out in the horseshoe driveway. So we're hoping that folks will notice that, along with the numbers on the other places and all of the signs that are there as you come in, directing you to different locations to further support and assist people as they enter our community so they know where they should be going. So I want to thank everybody for that suggestion, and we were able to get something that was large enough that hopefully will be able to be seen. That was one of the biggest tricks there. All right. So I want to spend the bulk of my time today talking about the results of the Holleran Resident Engagement Survey. I want to thank all of you for your participation. As you know, we completed the survey pretty much during the month of April. We started on April the 6th and we ran through May the 4th. And our residents were asked to provide a rating on a variety of questions on a scale of 1, very poor, to 5, excellent. And we had 201 of 222 surveys distributed that were returned. So we had a response rate of 90.5%, which is absolutely incredible. And I think that is worthy of a round of applause just for that. As you know, our goal was to have 75% participation. So we blew that one out of the water. So guess what? Next time we do this, we're up in the number. So we will be planning a celebratory dinner, as we discussed, at some point in the near future to thank everyone for their participation and their feedback. All right, so what the survey does is it looks at a number of factors. You all know, you saw it. And basically it's about resident engagement. And engagement measures how well the community supports the successful aging of its residents. And it looks at that through 4 different lenses, if you will. One is called voice, one is called connection, one is called fulfillment, and one is called well-being. And when we look at the aggregate scores, what we find is that voice scored a 3.77 out of 5. Connection scored a 4.08. Fulfillment scored a 3.81. And well-being scored a 4.00. All of those are increases from where we were during the 2024 survey. and the overall resident engagement index score moved from a 2 to a 3. So we do see some movement in terms of resident engagement and involvement and the feedback that you are providing us and how you do that here at our community. So that is very, very positive news. So what were the highest scoring factors? Appearance of the exterior grounds. I think we know we've really undertaken a serious effort in the last few years with the sidewalk enhancement projects, with the landscape enhancement projects, with the new portico share, with the parking lot refinishing, and on and on and on with all of the things that have been done on the exterior of the community. So that's great to see that that is recognized. Staff friendliness. I think that goes without saying, right? We know we've got a great staff, both in general and specifically the nurses and the clinical staff who take good care of us. So where are our areas of opportunity? What are those things that we need to focus on that you tell us? Well, I don't think any of these are surprises, okay? Temperature of food, quality of food, and timely response to maintenance requests. Now, they are the 3 bottom factors that are in the most opportunity for us to show improvement. But I want you to know that those are areas that we saw a tremendous increase in satisfaction or engagement from where we were in the last survey. And there are areas we focused on at that time as well. So the rating on the temperature of food was up 9.22% from where it was in 2024. The rating for the quality of food was up 15.07% from where we were in 2024. And the timely response to maintenance requests is up 5.12%. Does that mean we're done? Absolutely not. We still have work to do in all of these areas. But it does demonstrate that the work we've put in is being recognized and that we have more to go. So what was the overall satisfaction score? It was a 4.11 out of 5. And that represents a 4.31% increase, which is statistically significant from where we were in 2024. So, that is the quick overview. What are our next steps? Well, our department directors are reviewing their individual results, and they will be putting together action plans for us to review and to move forward with. Those areas that are the areas of opportunity that we just reviewed, they will be our biggest focus, because we need to make sure that we're not taking what I call a shotgun approach. If we take a shotgun approach, then we're never really focusing on anything specific and we're never really moving the ball forward. We've shown that we're able to move the ball forward when we focus on a few core things, and we're going to continue to do that. So we'll share more information on those next steps and the action plan in the months to come. All right. So, the backyard, which is part of the exterior grounds that we've been talking about. I got a permit. Thank whoever. We finally have our permit to get things rolling for the backyard. So we are going to hold a groundbreaking kickoff event that is going to be hosted by your own Down to Earth committee, along with the Spring Point Foundation. And it is scheduled for the end of this month, July the 30th at 11 a.m. And we'll start right here in the auditorium. Our group, our Down to Earth committee, has the theme, sugar, spice, and everything nice. So they're saying that you need to come celebrate an exciting new chapter here at Monroe Village in our history, led by residents like you. I want to know where the one in the white skirt is. That's all I'm going to say. And I think Harold's pretty interested too, by the way. I'm just saying. I don't know. Is Harold here? No. He's not here. Anita, you got to keep your eye on him. Okay. Okay. So, if you're not interested in the backyard, just show up for the food. We're gonna have lots of sweet treats. That's the sugar and spice part, right? Everything nice. So we're gonna have some little chocolate raspberry ganache torts and some eclairs, fresh fruit tarts, mini cupcakes with cream cheese icing. That's my favorite icing, by the way, cream cheese icing. So, again, here is the official invitation that'll be coming your way if it hasn't already, but I'm giving you a sneak peek. It will, again, Thursday, July 30th, here in the auditorium at 11 a.m. We'll ask that you RSVP to Susan from the foundation, and the information will be on the sheet when you get it, and it's also here on these slides, which will be available to you as well. So with that, it brings us to the Monroe Mailbag feature of the day. And this is where I'm going to invite someone to come into the room. She's already in the room. I saw her. Maria, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. She's in the back. Come on down.
Are you warm yet?
So I got this lovely letter, and it stated, I would like to take this opportunity to commend someone special who has come to the clinic here at Monroe Village a short time ago. I had the pleasure of meeting with her. Her sincerity, her outgoing personality, and her wisdom truly amazed me. My husband has also met with her, and he absolutely feels as I do. I myself had so much trauma in the past and felt that this person touched my heart with kindness to me. She is Maria, the woman who took Carol's place not too long ago in the clinic. I see that she will absolutely be an asset to all of us here. We are very lucky to have Maria on board. So we just wanted to congratulate and thank Maria for everything she does to support all of our residents and everybody else in the clinical services team. You have been a pleasure to work with and a great, great asset to our residents. And we thank you so much for all that you do. I got a little present for you later, okay? All right, thank you, Maria. So it is great when we get those letters like that. It really helps us to be able to recognize our team members and all the good things that they do. So please continue to send us those so we can highlight the good things that go on here in your personal experiences. So with that, we're going to take it to comments and questions. And I'm going to make a statement before we start. Who beat? Somebody beat. Okay. We had a power outage here over the weekend. I think everybody's aware of that. And we did some things well, and we did some things that we're going to learn from. We're going to review our policies and procedures. And part of today's program was to help re-educate all of our residents on what we have and how it works and what information we need from you to be able to keep you safe in the event of a power outage. Are things perfect? They're not. They're not. I don't know any place that they are. But I do know that we've got a lot of people who care a lot about all of our residents and who worked very hard during that power outage, came in giving up their own time as well as leaving their families in the dark because they had no power to come here to be supportive of our residents. Like I said, are things perfect? They never are. They never are. But we have a lot of things that are in place, and we reviewed them today. We also ask all of you to take some personal responsibility for yourselves in your apartments, and we gave you some items today that you can purchase or make sure that you have. Some information that you should know so that we can help you. If we don't know certain things, we can't help you when there is an emergency. So with that, as I said, things weren't perfect. We did deal with about 11 hours without power. Thankfully, most of it was during the overnight. And to be candid, we didn't enact our emergency notification system because we didn't want to wake people up at midnight. Because truthfully, from a safety standpoint, that's worse. That's worse. But please remember, The lights are on in the hallways. The lights are on in the clubhouse. The power is on everywhere. There's always somebody at the desk to answer the call. There are people here to support you. And if you give us information, if you have special needs, we can respond to those as well. So with that, I'm going to turn the lights, so we did turn the lights up, wait for the mic to come around, and we'll offer questions and comments. Where are we at, Steve? Hi, Monica.
I didn't get any of the text messages. I want to know, how do you register for that iInfo?
Excellent. That is a great question. It is really important that folks register for iInfo. You can see Gina DePiro, our Director of Resident Services, and she'll be able to help you sign up for that. We can provide those mass communications are email, text, and voice message. But again, if we don't have you registered, we can't get the messages to you. So we'll take care of that for you, Monica. Just reach out to Gina. Okay? Hi, Phyllis.
Hello. I have several comments. Okay. One about the power outage. Bob is on oxygen. Okay. Your Village Point arranged for all the oxygen, and yet Gina tells me she had to notify the nurse. I thought you knew it since you gave it to us. No.
Now, you have to understand, Phyllis, that when folks move from one level of care to the other over something like that, you're an independent living, we may not have that. I'm so sorry that you thought that way.
The nurses are there all the time. They've been in my apartment several times in the last 3 months. He's been in the hospital 4 times. You know all that. So I don't understand that end of it.
And I'd be happy to talk with you more about it, absolutely.
Okay, number 2, when I called down to the lobby, I was told simply, well, the whole town is out. Okay.
That was inappropriate, period.
Yes, it was.
Period.
Definitely inappropriate. I was offered no assistance whatsoever.
That would be something we failed at. You're 100% correct.
I was also told that there was, or the email said that there was power in all of the wing lobbies. There was not. Okay. C lobby had no power. I did not know that the hallway electric outlets have power. I didn't know that. There's one right outside our door. It would have been perfect.
Right, and that's part of why we want to do this education. We'll need to look at the C-Wing lobby because that shouldn't be that way. So thank you for letting me know that.
Okay. My second thing is on the maintenance. And I was very happy to see that you need work on your maintenance work orders.
Oh, I'm not happy to see that we need work on it.
Well,
we need work on it.
I put in a work order on July 2nd because I have mice in my apartment. I have a little mouse that has taken up residence in the HVAC closet. I have seen him twice.
Okay.
I put the work order in and I realized we were approaching a holiday.
Right.
Okay, work order went in per your instructions.
Okay.
Nobody came. So on the afternoon of July 3rd, I left a message for Stan, no response, okay. On Wednesday, the 10th or the 9th, whatever it was, I called down to the lobby to see what the status was.
Right.
I was told the exterminator had been there the day before, and no one came. But he signed off on the work order. Now, you tell me what's going on. I went out and bought my own mouse traps.
What apartment are you, Phyllis? Just remind me.
C105.
Okay, all right.
My point is, there is no follow-up on these work orders. There should be a 48-hour response or a contact with the resident. And then there should be a follow-up to make sure the work is done. Because I was in limbo for a whole week. I didn't know if anybody was coming. Did I have to stay in my apartment for 6 days waiting for somebody to come? You've got to let us know some of this.
We failed you on that, I agree.
You
Phyllis,
absolutely
and I'm so sorry.
did.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Shirley.
Yes, 2 things happened within the last month or so that affected the entire community. One is the power outage, which we've talked about sufficiently. The other was an outage by Comcast, where there was no TV in the entire Monroe Village.
Yeah.
Now, why were these items not put on the app so we could look at an app? I had no idea that everybody had no TV. It took me a long time to finally call down to the concierge desk and find out that it was everybody who had nothing. And of course, the same thing with the power outage. I think the app needed to be used in that occasion.
Okay, that's a great suggestion. Thank you. And we can look at that in addition to the iInfo and the other ways to communicate. Definitely. Thank you. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, thank you, Jay. It was very informative, everything that you told us. My name is Maddie, and I'm living here several months. And I'm writing this because I don't want to forget anything important. Many, many people had suffered during this last loss of air and electricity. We, the people here in Monroe Village, need a generator. Please stand up or raise your hand if you feel that way. Now, I know it costs a lot of money, but I'd like to find out if you're looking into it.
Yeah.
I would like to see a report that would show that was done for this community. Because we all suffered oxygen, air, sea masks. Someone was locked in a door and she couldn't get out for over an hour. This really needs to be looked into. And I think that's so important for us, more than anything else, is to have a generator. We don't have to run out in the hall in our pajamas. We need a generator.
Thank you, Maddie. So I appreciate those comments, and we will continue to evaluate what is the most efficient and effective way to take care of that. I can tell you we've already done some preliminary look at it, and it's about $1 million proposition. And that's based on information we have from our electricians. So we can look at that for future capital planning. Hi, Barbara.
Okay, so I'm one of the people that needs oxygen 24 hours, and it is known, okay? At 11:04, I think it was, my TV went out, so of course I knew right away. I have an electric bed. Climbing out my bed was coming down from Everest.
Yeah, I bet.
But it was fine, because I do have emergency backup, which I immediately took my phone, put the light on my cell phone. That's why cell phones, iPhones are so important in this day and age. It took me to my hallway where I had a flashing big light. I could use it in 3 different ways, which I bought because I lived in Florida where there are hurricanes. And at maybe 10 to 12, quarter to 12, I left my door open so people could come in because it was an emergency. It was the thing to do. There was light in the hallway, so I knew that was good for me. And a resident came to my house, a resident called Rick, okay? And he said, my wife is at home, but I said, Barbara Henry's on oxygen. She may need somebody. She doesn't have a husband or companion. And he stayed with me, and at 10 to 12, I called 911 because nobody had come.
You didn't call the front desk?
I couldn't get through on my phone for some reason. Rick was with me, maybe because it was so busy.
Maybe, I don't know. Okay.
But I couldn't get anybody. And Rick said, what are you, I said, I'm calling 911. I swear within 10 minutes, here comes Sam, one of our security people with a car. And 2 minutes later, here comes the EMS. They said, we have taken one person out. Would you like to go? And I said, truthfully, no. I'd
Not
like
from
to
here.
stay. Yeah, they could have taken me.
Oh, they could, okay, for you.
Yeah, for me. And Rick said, no, she wants to be here. Sam, what do you think? Sam said, I'm gonna suggest I take the large machine and you can take the portable with her. We'll take all the wiring. We'll go upstairs to the lobby because the lobby has everything she needs. We went up. Now I know that Sam was supposed to go off duty at 12, and I'm not good with the letters, but I'll tell you up front. He stayed until nearly 12:30 with me on the main lobby. He said, I'm going to the A wing, which is the only wing that has emergency backup, and I will find a room for you. Came back a few minutes later and he said, I found A201, I think it was, which was a showroom. There was no rooms, but he said, there's a showroom. Somebody will come and get you and take you. That was at 12:30 when he left. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I was still sitting there. Jay, that wasn't right.
I'm sorry.
Mark was at the desk, never came over to me once, okay? And Mark knows I was upset about it. I'm not angry. I've been in your position. Anger doesn't get us anywhere. Sensibility is what we need. You know and I know $1 million is a heck of a lot of money, but if it will save a life, it's worth nothing, okay? Yesterday morning, Mark and Stan from maintenance came to my apartment at 8:30 in the morning, firstly to apologize. And what I didn't understand was, I said to Mark, you know, Mark, there are 2 of us, because this gentleman and I both are on oxygen 24 hours a day. He said, oh no, there's 4 of you. I said, so you have a list of the 4 people? He said, yes. I just filed it. I didn't say anything else about it, but I thought about it. And I said, when the meeting comes, I will say to Jay, if the director of our security knows there are 4 people on oxygen, why didn't he have somebody check on those 4 people? Nobody checked on 4 of us. And that was kind of the letdown that I felt. And I explained that to Stan. I'm not angry. We do need generators. We know it. You know it. All of us know it. It's not an easy thing to accomplish, but I'm hoping, maybe it won't be for me. I don't know whether I'll be here the rest of this year or, you know, my days or day by day. But I hope for the future people coming in will have the opportunity to never ever go through what I went through until gone 4 o'clock in the morning. It was awful. And I have to tell you, the showroom had no toilet paper.
Right,
no
it's not designed for somebody to stay, so I'm so sorry about that.
But
yes.
how if I tell you the bed had been slept in, the sheets were still warm, and I would not sleep in that bed, so I stayed up until 10 o'clock. So somebody was using the room for a bed before they came and got me at 4 o'clock. That I wasn't happy about. But I do appreciate that the fact that you all do know on staff that there's a problem and that you're going to work on it. That I would like to see happen. I hope I'm here to see it. Okay.
Thank you.
Julie's got her hand up. Hello.
Hello. Communication seems to be a theme today, and I had some, I've written so that I don't wander. During recent months, I have experienced much frustration and given a lot of thought to the factors that were causing me to feel so dissatisfied with recent events. I've come to the conclusion that no matter what the issue, no matter who the individuals involved, residents usually voice the opinion that the underlying cause of the conflict, the distrust, the suspicion, comes down to communication. People naturally respond to change with surprise and with questions. And depending on our past experience, we may just have curiosity, oh, okay, what? May have anger or suspicion, whether that's expressed or not. And I think in many cases, our residents do not openly express to management what their opinions are. I would encourage people to do that.
Absolutely.
Because management might be surprised.
Yep.
Clear information is the best way I know to reduce uncertainty, especially in situations like ours, where there's an imbalance of power between management and residents. Lately, I have found it difficult to know what is the best way to share and receive information with management. And I would appreciate at some point some enlightenment on that, some guidance as what issues should be taken to which persons. I'm learning that management faces the same challenge. They, as we pointed out earlier, have many ways to communicate with various residents, but there's never seems to be a way where everyone can get the same message. Understanding the why, the clear answers to the question why are essential for building respectful understanding among people with different points of view. When I understand the reason behind a request, when I do not understand the reason for a request that someone has asked, no matter how sincere my efforts may be to please them, I may completely miss the mark and do something inappropriate. If I don't understand the reason for something that's being asked of me, a requirement, I find it difficult as an adult to just accept it. Without an explanation, it seems that my compliance is assumed and that I'm expected to follow along without thinking for myself. That's very difficult for me to do. I like to have reasons why, and then I'm a happy camper. I'll get on board and I'll preach. Noting that my own level of unhappiness and anger, the level of that, and noting also the same level of emotion and dismay in some staff members that I was talking to, that their attempts to compromise with something I wanted were unsatisfactory to me, was very frustrating to them as well. Nobody was happy. It occurs to me that in the bigger picture, when we think about the last 6 years that we have all lived through, there have been we are expected to endure and respond, not by Monroe Village necessarily, but just because it's life. There has just been a seemingly endless challenge, losses, surprises, disappointments, chaos, not to mention COVID. We are resilient. We wouldn't be here if we weren't resilient. We've all been through some stuff. But we are human beings. We can break. We need to know that. I moved to Monroe Village because it seemed a place where individuality is honored and residents play a role in determining the meaning of quality of life. It worried me that there was an umbrella called Spring Point, and I thought, 2 more layers of bureaucracy to deal with. But when I learned that under the umbrella of Spring Point, all of the facilities had their own CEOs, they had very different appearances and personalities, if you will. That was very reassuring to me. And I felt that variation and variety is a value with all of these different communities. That it was not necessary for everything to be the same. Recently, I have had reason to doubt both of the beliefs that I had coming in here. I hope that gets resolved. I don't like to be angry. I don't like to look for ulterior motives every time something good happens. And I do not like doubting the sincerity and honesty of the people that I live with daily. I just call on each of us to ask first, listen better, and to respect each other by sharing rather than withholding information. And the last sentence a lot is for you, Jay, because I think we would all be happy campers, you would have far fewer headaches, and the staff wouldn't be dealing with the grief of all the blowback from people who feel they haven't been adequately informed. It puts the staff in a position where they have to take all the questions. They may know the answer, but they don't have the authority to tell us. That's a difficult place to be. Thank you.
Thank you. And Judy, I'd be happy to meet with you individually to speak about those challenges and concerns and where you feel that the communication has been less than adequate, because that is important. So we'll be in touch, and I would like to do that sometime next week if you're available. Okay. Where are we going?
Julie first?
Hi, Julie.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay. First of all, I have a compliment on Angel, one of our maintenance people. This morning, I heard drip, 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 drip in the closet where the heating unit is, air conditioning. And I opened the door and the floor is all wet. So we put a bucket under there and dried it and I called the main desk for maintenance. And lickety split, he was up there. And he checked it, he found that what the problem was, he fixed it, and we're happy campers. Thank you very much to maintenance taking care of that so quickly. One concern I have is the parking lot 2. Seems that when they first put the macadam in there, the blacktop, there was, I guess, something coming up in the middle there, and I don't know, there's still something, it's just not right now. There's marks there, the water isn't right, but I'm hoping that maybe they can take a look at that, because in the wintertime when we...
Yeah, that's already on our list. You're absolutely right, Julie.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
But thank you.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, I collected a bunch of small questions here. I don't know how many we're going to get through, but first of all, on the issue of communication, I've been puzzling about the same problem for a long time, and I actually had a hallway conversation with Judy about it. And it seems to me that if we legitimized the role of an ombudsperson, it would be one good way, out of several possible, to focus the effort. It seems to me there's kind of 3 broad classes of communication problems. There's venting, people who need to talk to somebody about something that frustrates them. They're not sure whether there's anything to it, and there needs to be somebody listening who has the people skills to discern whether this is a legitimate concern or more of a personal issue. And then there are the individual things that need attention, that maybe like a ticket hasn't been responded to fast enough and it's got to be fixed. And then there are big issues like, for example, the generators, but there have also been issues that came up concerning the hallway redecoration. That's a broad issue, and the new furniture and to what extent the residents can customize it versus leaving it exactly where it is, and things like that. So, but it seems to me that the concierge and Gina, in combination, since concierge reports to Gina, would be a good place to start, to say, if we knew that we could go to the front desk and say, I got a problem, and if the concierge was trained to say, that's something you need to talk to Gina about, or I can handle that for you, or I'll be glad to listen, and without saying there's not much I can do about it, but that might be a way to go forward. Okay, second item, hang on. On maintenance tickets, we have discussed a couple of times giving the residents the ability to have their own record of the ticket.
Yep.
Has that happened?
Not as of yet. We're
Okay.
evaluating different systems right now on how to make that happen. Yes.
Okay, just hate to drive the point home. I've been waiting 3 years. Okay. I heard the request that people in the lounge would go sit. I like that idea very much, but the hostess is not using the PA. And if the hostess doesn't use the PA, the people waiting in sitting are not going to hear it. I'm glad that Morrison has provided temporary managers to cover for Matt, but I also heard that we waited 4 weeks for them.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Fake news.
Okay.
Fake news.
Okay. How long did it take them to get us a new a temporary manager?
Their temporary help and their regional folks were here within days.
Okay. All right. Thank you. This is a small point, but you showed us the picture for the number 1 in front. Is there a light on it?
There will be when it gets darker earlier. Yes, that's already something that we've discussed.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm just thinking of the evening food delivery.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I apologize for the alarm going off in the background. It would help as you go over the emergency response, if you could identify the outlets in the resident hallways that have backup service and mark them so we can see them.
Already on it.
Good, excellent. There, I hope I got the alarm. There we go. And then, sorry. I've been hearing these reports of people having dripping in their HVAC closets. Since my own experience, which you may recall, I wound up with an insurance claim for $5,500 of damage done by that dripping in the air conditioner closet. Are we doing preventive maintenance on those drains?
Yes. They run in combination with one another, so that becomes the biggest challenge. They run vertically up the building.
I know, but is somebody cleaning them out before they get clogged?
We look at them and try to clean them out as best we can, Bob, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I got Pat up front. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Jay. I think that since there have been so many new residents moving in within the past year, and we welcome all of them, I think that there needs to be a recap of the evolution of the backyard project. I think that people feel it's an $800,000 project.
Mm-hmm.
We need generators.
Mm-hmm.
There's $1 million maybe to be spent on generators.
Right.
Was the backyard project ever something that we as a community decided upon?
Oh gosh, yes. Where's Jill?
Okay, I think
that started out of a committee. It was a resident request.
Okay,
Where that started.
I think that in light of all of the new people that have moved in, I think that perhaps the evolution of the project needs to be reiterated.
Okay, great.
Okay, and that's my feeling.
Okay, thank you. Where are we at? We got Sue next. Hi, Sue.
Hi, how are you?
All right, yourself?
Better.
Good.
Okay, I am definitely a new resident. So when the power outage went, we did not know if the elevators were safe.
Mm-hmm.
We should have. We did not get the communication you identified via Gina. We're going to sign up. The communication overall, if I go to the front desk and I ask a question, I don't know. I'll get back to you. Stan doesn't check his mail. Did you put in a work order? That's frustrating. All of the above.
Mm-hmm.
The lobby AC that was on and the kitchen's generators that was on was not shared knowledge. The outlets in the hallway that had electricity was not shared knowledge. When we went out and came back after the power outage, I think we were back like 1 o'clock. Then there was signs up by the elevators saying, keep your doors open and the hallway lights will help and the air conditioning from the hallway will come in. Well, we live on the 3rd floor and heat rises. Those hallways were not cooler than our apartment, even being sealed up. I would also suggest that the clinical staff send around a memo when power outages happen, because we had enough time to spoil food in the refrigerator. No one recommended that leftovers should be thrown out, that milk should be checked, that you should be wary of egg products. That's all communication, and that all could be done better. The parking lot too, I have sent multiple pictures to both you and Stan about the water issue.
Yes.
The day the parking lot had its asphalt put down,
Mm-hmm.
there was a water leak at the
Right.
bottom of the handicap ramp
Yeah.
that was not addressed.
Well, I'm going to stop you on that one, Sue, to be honest with you, because that water was not a leak. That water was cleaning that was done by the crew of the concrete block that was replaced in that area. So we were aware of the water in that location. It was not as a result of a leak.
I'm talking about before that concrete was poured.
Before it was poured.
Before the last part of the concrete was poured,
Okay.
they
Right.
had fixed the curb.
Yes,
And
correct.
they had went to put in rebar.
Yep.
And they had dug into the dirt.
Yep.
And there was, had to be at least 20 gallons worth of water.
Okay. Okay.
And then the sidewalk was poured on top.
Mm-hmm.
And then it leaked out into the the pavement before it was paved.
Mm-hmm.
And then since it's been paved, from the handicap ramp all the way down to the middle of the driveway is still a water issue.
Yes.
And that was an issue when we moved in February. So the improvement of the parking lot didn't solve the problem.
Well, we're not done yet, Sue, and we are aware that is still a concern, as I said, and we're going to continue to monitor that, and if additional remediation needs to be done, we're going to take care of it.
Okay, the sprinklers that we can view from our apartment that are outside parking lot 2 of the sprinklers repeatedly water the parking lot instead of the grass. One of the sprinklers does not work at all. One of them has a stream like a little boy taking a whiz in the toilet. I have pictures.
I got pretty, never mind.
As two side thoughts, the koi pond in the front gets too much sun. Algae's breeding, the kois don't like it. Can we consider putting up a wooden structure like a pergola that would shade that a little bit and enhance the front and deal with the algae problem?
It's a question.
It's something we can always consider, Sue.
Okay, last thought.
I would not call it the highest priority right now, though, to be honest with you.
No. Can we look into solar to help offset the cost of a generator?
So we have looked at solar on this campus before, Sue, and we have worked with various solar providers as well as our utility company. Because of the location of the campus, meaning geographically speaking, and the way the sun moves across the buildings, and the way the roof lines are, it is not something that is feasible on this campus.
I'm not suggesting on the roof line. I'm suggesting in the front field, right off Half Acre Road. You could put solar farm there, you could fence it with nice trees, and you could gain that solar.
Okay, I appreciate the suggestion.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bob. Third time's a charm, buddy.
I would like to follow up on the comment about the resident approval. This is only my own point of view on it, so I recognize that I don't have the whole picture. But the way I heard the whole process going on, the Down to Earth Committee started the planning process, and then at a certain point, the foundation jumped in, and in combination with their decision to match the funding, that they would also put in certain changes in the design and amplifications of the design. Now, that may not be true, that's a question.
Yeah.
But to my understanding, the residents as a whole were never asked to approve the design. The committee came up with a design, but as far as bringing it to the residents as a whole, I don't think that's there. And I would venture to guess, because of all the complaints that come hit my ears, whether I want them to or not, that there are a great many residents who feel dissociated from the project.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bob, we've shared a lot of information about the backyard project at these meetings, at other meetings, over the course of several years. And the genesis of the project was from the residents. You're absolutely right. And continued to be from the residents. And in the form of representative governance, we need to allow a representative body of the residents to speak. And that's exactly what we've done through our resident governance structure and through the Down to Earth Committee. They were the folks who conceptualized the plan. They are the folks who saw the drawings. They are the folks who saw the revisions after they suggested they wanted something different. They are the folks who spearheaded the effort. Yes, the foundation was involved because we wanted this not to have an impact on the operations or the other capital planning for this community. So this is a completely philanthropic endeavor, okay, that has been driven by the residents, by the Down to Earth Committee. They have met regularly over the course of 3 years with revisions and ideas and thoughts and how to do this. So to say that there aren't residents involved, I'm going to be honest that I'm going to flat out disagree with you there. And to say that there hasn't been involvement or engagement in a large setting, I would say quarterly-ish. And I look back through my notes and have to see, we've talked about the backyard project at this very forum. We've shown pictures. We've talked about timelines. We've talked about things we wanted to do. We've talked about the bidding process. We've talked about the struggles getting the permits. We've shared it all and been very transparent about that, Bob. And I think that to say that the residents weren't involved, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. Give him the mic back, please.
I'm sorry if I conveyed the impression that I thought the residents were involved. I think the residents were informed, and I think that the committee at the beginning was certainly the genesis of the project. Unfortunately, the failing here may actually be on the resident association side, that the resident association was not effective in looking to see whether there was any dissatisfaction with the design. And a lot of us felt like, I got the impression, I know I was dissatisfied with the design, and I thought that my dissatisfaction was too late. There was nothing that could be done about it. And I heard a great many people express similar thoughts. So I'm just passing that along to you.
Thank you.
One quick comment about the backyard. How did the backyard come about? And this is my recollection, okay? It was about 4 years ago or so, we put up trees, coffee trees. A lot of the residents said, coffee trees, what is that gonna do how's that gonna help us? So, the committee got together. I was not on the committee at that time, but I have since joined the committee. But we came up with the backyard process. That's be something for us.
Right.
And personally, I'm very excited about it. I can't wait for it to happen. I can't wait to use that grill.
I know. I'm waiting for Larry to flip the burgers.
Right. I'm waiting too. The hamburger's all ready for us. But that's how the backyard came about, to my recollection. Personally, I think it's terrific.
Yeah, it was driven by residents. Thank you.
Hard for 1 second too. I'd like to also point out that it has been discussed at every Residents Association meeting monthly by the committee. There is a presentation every month. So there's been an opportunity for the last several years, this has been going on, for people to question and ask about this. Also, let's remember that half this funding is a donation from the foundation,
right,
and the other half is also coming from, hopefully, donations. It's not coming from our rental income. It's not coming out of the running of this entity here. So keep that in mind, please. It's not like we took that $1 billion that we could have used on the residency out of our funds. It's not done that way. And I think that's important for people to think about, okay? Please.
I'm on the committee.
Hi, Marlene. Yes.
I'm on the committee.
Yeah.
And I see several people here who are on the committee.
Yeah.
I see Brenda, lots of people here, they've left also. Most of us were already here, and we did what we said. The committee didn't do everything. We went to the residents.
Right.
So it's not just the committee.
Right.
The residents.
Gotcha. Yeah, there was engagement.
Everybody I talked to said they can't wait to do barbecues.
I know, it's going to be great. I think so. All right, thank you. Okay. Well, we've lost 2/3 of our audience. You all get the award for being those who hang in to the very end, and I appreciate it greatly. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you for your comments and feedback. We do appreciate it. It is important. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and